I would rather clean grout with a toothbrush than fold laundry. That's where I'm at. But somebody has to close these open loops, and today that somebody is me. Walking you through the 8 specific spots where laundry goes to die in almost every single home, including mine. Hey, I'm Robin, a retired nurse, and I help women over 40 get their homes and their energy back under control. Let's get into it. Spot 1, the dryer treated like a closet. This one might be the most relatable thing I say all year, so let's start here. You need pants, you walk to the dryer, you open it, and then you dig through a warm, wrinkled pile looking for the specific pair that you want. You find them, you shut the door again, leaving everything else in there to be dug through again tomorrow by whoever needs socks next. But here's what's actually happening. Now, a psychologist named Zeigarnik discovered that our brains hold onto unfinished tasks in a state of low-grade tension until they're actually complete. She noticed in waiters who could remember every detail of an order that they hadn't delivered yet, but then they forgot it instantly the moment the food hit the table. Your laundry works the same way. The dryer buzzes, the clothes are dry, and your brain knows it has not reached the finish point, even though the dry and clean almost feel finished. It's just that it isn't yet. So you quite often will just leave things there. Remember, the dryer is not a closet. It has one job, and that job is drying, not indefinite storage. So this stress piles up in our bodies because we have that open loop. This is not an indefinite storage with a rotating cast of family members pulling items out one at a time until we need to put something else into the dryer. If you're finding clothes by excavating instead of by opening a drawer, the loop isn't closed. It's just wearing warm, wrinkled clothes and calling itself finished. So once stuff is in the dryer, take it out, fold it, and put it away. Wet clothes left in the washer. This is the loop that punishes you directly with your own nose several days later, or if you were to put it in the dryer, you'd be dealing with that smell for months. You start a load, you get distracted by literally anything else happening in your life, and you come back the next days to find damp clothes that now smell like a pack of wet wolves took a nap in there, which means you're not moving them to the dryer. You need to re-wash them at least once. So you've paid for this load twice, in water, in time, and in a faint mildew smell that now lingers no matter how many times you run it again. So here's how to tackle that with the loop. Set a timer. The moment the wash cycle ends, move those clothes to the dryer. Non-negotiable. Wet clothes sitting in a closed drum are not paused. They are actively becoming a problem. Plus, they wrinkle less when you put them straight in the dryer. And while your clothes are in the dryer, maybe take the opportunity to catch up on some sleep by getting a much better mattress. I have been finding every excuse to try out this new Brooklyn Bedding Copperflex mattress in my son's room. What a lucky kid. Since he's almost 17, he had outgrown his twin bed, and we upgraded for this bigger, wonderful mattress. And this is the Ferrari of mattresses for anyone. Once we set it up, because it comes rolled up, we rolled it out, took off the plastic. It came to its final form. My husband and I were lying down. We were like, oh my gosh, this is such a comfortable mattress.
One of the things I love about Brooklyn Bedding is that they combine their premium materials with innovative sleep technology. So that delivers comfort and support without the crazy markup. They have 15 plus mattresses with a variety of customization options, including soft, medium, and firm, cooling upgrades, and specialty designs.
My son says his sleep has improved and he falls asleep so fast. Now, the Copperflex memory foam has copper particles that help you to stay cool and comfortable. I like to sneak in here when he's at work and just read my book because it is so good on my pressure points, and what a nice mattress. With free shipping in the US and 120-night sleep trial, you have nothing to lose. Thank you to Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring. You can visit at brooklynbedding.com/minimalisthome and use my code minimalisthome to get 30% off your order. Spot 3, socks and strays in common areas. Now, before we even get near the laundry closet or laundry room, the loop is already breaking down in your living room, my living room, a sock under the couch, a shirt on the stairs, someone's pants, husband, just draped over a chair like they're resting there for the evening. Here's my confession. My solution to this has historically been leaving it there for the owner to remember, which I would like to formally announce is not a solution. Fair, yes, but not a solution. I used to really resent this picking up after other people when I'm not the one who made the mess. Feels really unfair. And for a long time, it actually really bothered me. But here's where I landed instead. If the owner is around, great. They can deal with it themselves. But if they're not, I don't have it in me to drag it into some teaching moment every single time. I just don't have the energy for that fight today. So, and plus it would probably stay there for days. So I take action. Not because it's fair, but because it gets me a clean house right now instead of a resentment-filled house for another 3 days while I wait for someone else to notice. The loop doesn't close when the item leaves the living room. It closes when the actual item reaches its destination. The hamper, the hook, the drawer, anything in between is just a very slow game of hot potato with a single sock. Spot 4, the basket treated like a closet. Okay, these are towels. It's a little bit different, but still. My turn to be honest here because I promised you baked in honesty and I intend to deliver those muffins. My personal weak spot is the laundry basket. As I mentioned, I hate folding. Clean clothes come out of the dryer, they go into the basket, and then the basket becomes the floor adjacent dresser for me that I will pull from for approximately 4 days before anything gets folded and put away. The basket truly is only meant as a transport vehicle. It is not for long-term housing. If your basket has developed its own postal code, the loop is open and it's been open for a suspiciously specific number of days that I'm not going to name out loud on camera, but let's just say sometimes it's for more than a week. So the true solution is just using the basket as a spot to fold, coming up, folding. Towels, of course, are like the easiest thing to fold, but clothes, like baby clothes, oh my gosh, all of those little things, it just takes forever. Just do yourself a solid, like I do. Put on my AirPods, listen to a podcast, fold it, and then put it away. Spot 5, the laundry chair. Every home has one, a chair or a corner or a stretch of the floor that has turned into a multi-purpose clothing zone. For me, it's this sort of platform tub here in the bathroom. Now, the problem is some of it's clean, some of it's worn once, some of it's dirty, all living together in one unlabeled pile with no system whatsoever. So for us, normally it's clothes we're about to wear again, but sometimes it's dirty clothes that haven't made it to the hamper. Here's the strange thing about the chair, because most people have a chair. An empty chair, it can stay empty for a really long time. And same with this, this could be open for a while. But the minute somebody puts something on there, it's open season. It's not a nice accent chair anymore. It is officially the pile chair, and now everyone in the house, including me, treats it as fair game. One shirt invites 4 more. Within a day, you could excavate the chair and find 3 distinct eras of your life in there. Clean laundry from Tuesday, that sweater you wore to dinner and aren't sure about rewashing, something that's been there so long it now is furniture. The fix isn't a system for the chair. It's never letting the first item land there in the first place. Clean goes away immediately. Like, put the clean back in the drawers. Dirty goes in the hamper right away. The chair gets its job back. If you have clothes that you're going to wear the next day, okay, maybe leave them up, but make sure you put them on and that the chair is empty. If it is something you're like, oh, I might wear it next week, put it back in the drawer. Let's give the chair a break. Spot 6, the laundry room or laundry closet floor. This is less a laundry room and more a laundry closet, so its floor has become a battlefield. Here is what happens. The kids will put their laundry into the washer and then they something falls on the floor. And then they put it in the dryer and something else falls on the floor. Then they eventually take their stuff out and more stuff falls on the floor. The stuff stays there, not picked up, not even noticed by my kids. Just the floor now apparently a permanent fixture, like the baseboards. This is actually a really common trap. In the moment you're choosing to leave the loop open, well, they are, and maybe you do too. Please let me know if you do the same thing. You're doing a half fix because the half fix requires way less than a full one does. You could just pick it up. First of all, make sure it all goes in there and make sure it all goes in there. And then when you're taking stuff away, make sure it all goes away. Picking something up and tossing it in the general direction takes 2 seconds, but walking to the hamper takes maybe 8. Your brain, especially when it's actually busy, the 2 seconds, it feels like too much, but really it is closing that loop. My solution, here's how I handle it because of this situation. I just take all of their stuff and I throw it in there. I wash it, then dry it, divide it up amongst the savages afterward. Everything from the floor, the basket, wherever, in one load, sorted back out by owner once it's clean. It's not elegant, it works. The loop closes when everyone's clothes end up in their own room, not when they're technically clean, but just redistributed across my closet floor for another week. Spot 7, next to the hamper, but not in. This one belongs to my husband, and I say that with love and also with a raised eyebrow. The hamper exists. It has different compartments. It was put next to his side of the bed. It is structurally speaking extremely easy to use, and yet somehow clothes land beside it instead of in it, with what appears to be inches of missed opportunity every single time. There's actually a name for this kind of thing, and it's called effort discounting. People consistently underestimate how much effort a task actually takes, and then they believe that getting 90% of the way there counts as finishing it. So in his mind, these pants are basically in the hamper. In reality, it's on the floor 6 inches away, having accomplished nothing. The fix is not complicated. Close the loop the whole way, not adjacent to the hamper, not gesturing at the hamper, in the hamper. Close the loop. Spot 8, folding without putting away. A lot of people tell me that they actually like folding. They enjoy it and they even find it calming. No complaints, which I can't relate to. But then in the very next breath, they will tell me that they hate putting things away. The clothes end up getting folded beautifully, and then they sit in perfectly folded stacks on the bed, on the dresser, in the basket usually, anywhere except for inside the drawer, sometimes for days. Here is why that split happens so consistently. So folding and putting away feel like one task, but they're actually 2 completely different skills. Folding, it's repetitive and almost meditative. Same motion over and over again, a clear, visible improvement with every piece. For those who like folding, I find it so boring, and maybe that's why. But putting away requires decision making. Which drawer, whose room, where does this belong? That's a completely different kind of mental effort, which is why so many people are truly good at one half of this job and stuck in the other. And I will do a quick aside here that when your drawers and closets are cluttered, people do tend to dislike putting away more because then it's just sort of that reminder and you're sort of just jamming things in. So doing a declutter of those spaces definitely makes putting things away so much easier. But back to the folding and the not putting away. Folding is not the finish line. It feels like the finish line because it looks done, but the loop is not closed until the item is actually put away in its home, no longer needing a single additional decision from anyone. Here is the part worth pushing through though. The second that the basket is empty and every single item has an actual home, there's a real hint of satisfaction that folding never gives you. Folding feels productive, but putting away, this is my favorite part. And maybe because I have like decluttered those spaces, I love that part so much. I'm like, yes, we're done. It feels finished. That's the difference between a task that technically is done and a loop that is actually closed. Now, speaking of closing loops, you know the rest of your home and not just the laundry room has some loops that could be closed. I have a whole video on the open loop system that gets into the entire home. You can watch that right here. I hope something great happens for you today. Please like, subscribe, give us a hype. Stay tidy and mighty. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.